That's what plane is, avion. Right? And those birds was a pelican. They were not even here, they were in Africa. So they saw the take off and the come down to a pelican to create the plane. So it's a lot of things that was based on African existence to create what tomorrow will be. And it's time to recognize those stuff. So now when you come back now to the drums and artists connect ethnic groups, countries, we all know that when a drums beat, hey, Africans on, right? It's on. And today, we have influence where in America, those Africans who first came, whatever they brought, they create an influence that sometimes people think that that's what Africa is. Like there is a lot of things that always when you talk about it in America, they think Nigeria, because Nigeria was the largest, biggest number that ever came in here. But Nigeria is like this to Africa is the culture, right? They think all the religion is turned into Ibu or Ifa, I learned Ifa from being in America. I'm African. They're like, oh, you celebrate Kwanzaa, you don't know Kwanzaa? I say, oh no, I don't know Kwanzaa. Because we didn't create Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa was created here, but it was based through a true principle of Africa. But I don't know it. Because to us, Kwanzaa is not something to celebrate, we live with it. Right? So now when you see Africa in this global and this big, and can be seen in this different drum, like I said, I just mentioned the djembe. So when you go to Congo, they have a different style. You go to South Africa, they have a different style. But again, from whatever they play, the way they dance it, goes with their culture. That's how now we as Africans, we can recognize what an ID is. Here you got to have the little card that say ID card. You're from California, you're from Mississippi or whatever. But in Africa, if it's not the way you behave, the way you look, we can't identify. We can identify as such a country, or you can be identified as such ethnic groups, or you can be identified such as a family member. And when I say family member, it goes all the way to the last name. You say any last name, they will like, oh, they know. You say this last name, they know. From last name, we will know what area, what he might be from. So then I want you always to see Africa in the big perspective of each of this country or each ethnic group is who's already take a lot of time to learn. But I know now when we come to America, we come as a different nationality. Senegalese might be the last one that came because I think the first generation of Senegalese that came in here was just late 1960. And a lot of people sometimes they have a tendency to think that Africans been here for so long. But no, there is no African generation that been here for 50 years. No. The first group of Africans that came to here, besides those that they met in India, when I say immigration, is in late 1960s or beginning 1960. That's when the first group, because there was a program, I think, of education called Jibois program, where they was collecting intellectual or students from Africa to bring here for study program. And when they came, actually, that's where the whole problem between African and African Americans started. Because through the program, the system at the time with all that it was related with discrimination and racism, well, yeah. Hello, Nikifi. Oh, my kids looks like they took the one day waiting for me to pick them up on the other road. I got to go drive and get